Because I'm a big believer that there is no optimum time. There is no peak season. There is no, I'm the best at this season, at this age. We are always at peak season. We level up on the peak. The peak get higher and higher at any moment. The peak is what we make it. So that's how I just feel. Like, no funny, that's how I feel. I feel like peak. I don't think there's such a thing when it comes to me. Because I feel like when I hear peak, I hear limit. That's funny. The sky exists. You cannot depend on me and the light, but you can never kill my vibe. Hi y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Full Cup. I am so excited, y'all. I'm so excited because y'all know that last episode we was talking about emotional intelligence. We was talking about reading our emotions and our feelings as signs, as means of communication, as breaking it down in a very gentle way. And that had me feeling like, all right, because emotional get a bad rep. Being emotional gets such a bad rep, and it doesn't need to. It really doesn't need to. Our emotions are a map. They show us what's what and who's who, truly. But welcome y'all to another episode of Full Cup. It's your girl, Ariel Simone, aka Holistic Mommy. I'm just so grateful for y'all. I'm really so grateful because Full Cup is all about pouring into mind, body, soul. We are reading together. We are friends. We are community. And if you don't know, we are reading This Is How You Heal by Brianna, Wiest, y'all. It is so good. So this is the perfect time to grab your cup, grab you some kombucha, some tea, a juice. Right now, this is pineapple, ginger, and grapefruit. So she's a little spicy, sweet, but got a little kick to her. So if you might see me like, that's because the ginger just come in and is real anti-inflammatory. It attacks things. And I love that for me. I love that for the healing aspect of things. So we love that. Oh, go check out my 3-day gut detox. It's on my website. If you want to add more ginger, more turmeric, more black pepper, if you want to just decrease your inflammation, improve your mood, your digestion, if you want to just get better, clearer skin, just more energy, it is for you. It is for you. It is for you. I kid you not. It is a 7-part video series where we focus on gut healing smoothies, juices, soups, dinners, all of it. Go check it out. It's on my website. But we are reading This Is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. And I'm just so excited because this chapter, y'all, is all about 10 signs you're actually making progress in your life, even if it doesn't feel like you are. You know, it's February, it's about to approach March right now, and it's easy for us to feel like, oh, did I start the year off the way I wanted to? Or am I on go in the right ways? Or what is the focus? Or am I holding myself accountable? How do I track my goals? It's easy to feel like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. So let's see what she says, all right? She says, even here, even now, you are growing. That's a fact. I know it seems like the only way to measure your progress is by timing, milestones, and goals reached. But in reality, progress is more about how you get into alignment with what we need and want, and less about how perfectly we paint the outward picture of what we think we're supposed to be or where we're supposed to be. This is why it is often the most counterintuitive times that provide us the most opportunity for growth. I love that, because if you feel like you are counterintuitive right now, you're not as productive as you can be, that might also be a big opportunity for growth. You might be able to see that and be like, oh, this is working, this is not. So she goes, here are a few signs that you're actually making incredible progress in life, even if it doesn't feel like you are. 1, you've lost relationships. I was telling y'all in the last video, I recently had to release some people and it does not feel good. Releasing people doesn't feel good. I don't know if anybody else is like this, but I don't cut people off and be like, yeah, and what? Sometimes I cut people off and be like, I need to do this for me. I wish you could be good for me, but you're not. So I gotta go. I gotta focus on what I got control over. And that's me and my energy and my action and my time. So it's like, oh, I gotta go. So yeah, you lost relationships. Maybe you look back and feel sad about everyone you've lost touch with. Maybe you reflect on all of your would-be relationships and whether or not you've tried hard enough. Maybe you think of all the friends and acquaintances that have crossed your path and regret not remaining closer. Maybe you look back at all the support you had and wonder why you ever chose to move onto your own path. Losing relationships is often a sign that you're growing into the people we're supposed to be. We aren't meant to have the exact same circle of friends and acquaintances for the entirety of our lives. Unless those people grow in perfect congruence with us, we often step out of pace with them as they head down their own paths in life. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not a sign of failure. In fact, the willingness to let go of social comfort in order to pursue what feels more authentic to you is a sign of massive, incredible growth. We don't lose relationships because we're not worthy of them. We lose them because we're mismatched to them. They're usually a good indicator that we've grown, we've changed, and we need to realign with people who understand who we're becoming, not just who we've been. You already know she's eating. She's eating the dogs and the cats. She's eating. All right, keep going. Hold on, take a sip real quick. Hold on, sip break. Ooh. 2, you're doubting your next step. If you're not doubting your next step, it's not the right step. I know that seems wrong, as though the most correct thing would absolve any doubt, any fear, or any worry from your mind. The more right it is, the more you're going to have an unconscious, emotional, and often embodied reaction. You're scared because you care. You're doubting because this actually means something to you. You're nervous because it's unfamiliar. You're finally choosing something you actually desire. You're confronting the limiting beliefs that have held you back from it all this time. And you're actually putting something on the line for once. You're no longer content to follow someone else's success script. You're no longer just passively floating through your existence. You're making a choice, and that comes with discomfort. That comes with responsibility. And often that comes with fear. That's why I always say, like, move with fear. Like, move being afraid. It's okay. Like, just still do it. Do it while you're afraid. Do it scared. Just do it. Pull up on Nike and just do it. Seriously. That was a little corny. But okay. I like it. All right. So many people won't leap because they're afraid of the initial jolt. But they also never learn to spread their wings, and they never arrive anywhere else. That's a great point too, because sometimes I'm like, when I was first starting YouTube, I'm like, oh my God, like, who's gonna watch? I need it to be at 100. I need all 100,000 followers. I need all this. No, the only thing we need to do is start. That's literally the only thing we need to do is show up and start. Show up and be authentic. Show up and be yourself. Show up and just be. Just be. Number 3, you feel slightly embarrassed of your past self. When you think back to who you were even just a year ago, you might cringe. While this is an incredibly valid experience to have, and a common one at that, please know that it is not a sign that you were an awful person before, but that you're coming into greater self-awareness about who you do and do not want to be. Please know that nobody is or ever was judging you as much as you are judging yourself right now. In addition, this is a natural part of the process of positive disintegration. Your old self is no longer suited to manage the life you have today. And so they must transform into who you are becoming. I always talk about who I'm becoming because I feel like I have such a beautiful relationship with future me. And I feel like we all should, because future you is coming. Future you is on the way. Future you was looking at you eagerly clapping. Eagerly clapping. Like, literally. Future you're so excited. So it's like, yeah, show up for future you. Future you got better habits. Future you eat better. Future you have better friends. Future you show up and work out. Future you goes to bed a little earlier. Future you has a morning routine. Future you takes your ginger shots. Future you is an extension of who you already are, just a little advanced or upgraded. It's just, I wouldn't even say better, because who you are is better now, but better meets better. You know what I mean? But yes. Number 4, you're slowing down. Rather than rapid, intense acceleration, you're interested in mindful, intentional decision-making. When we slow down, it's because we're no longer just running away from what's wrong, but learning to step into what's right. Maybe you saw clearly that your workload was unsustainable. Maybe you finally came to terms with the fact that you've been overextended and burnt out, and something had to give eventually. Instead of trying to push through all of your body's signals that you're doing too much, growth is when we slow down and start to listen to what they've been trying to say all along. In this stillness and rest, we often find answers we didn't know we were asking for. 5, You're starting to care more about how you feel as opposed to what other people think. You're no longer content to live a life designed to appease everyone but yourself. Sometimes this can emerge as a sort of anger or aggression or resentment. I'm adding or resentment. You find yourself completely fed up with everyone's judgments and shortcomings, and you might feel like you want to lash out or cut ties with those people so that you can relieve yourself from some sort of pressure. There are boundaries to be set here. And first and foremost, that begins with you. You have to start by making decisions for your life, not for your parents' lives or your friends' lives or your partner's life, not for your peers' lives. When you start stepping forward in your full truth, give people a chance to respond to you instead of just assuming how they'll react. You can make a call about your relationship from there. If, on the other hand, you're looking back on instances in which you didn't set boundaries that you should have, or you're regretting your lack of self-respect, write it all down. Put it in a drawer and come back to it tomorrow. I want to pause right here and say, also forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself, I'm recognizing it's not a one-act thing. It's a practice. It's a journey. It's something that you have to consistently choose every day. But forgive yourself. I saw a tweet yesterday that was like, I put love in all the wrong places. And then somebody tweeted on top of that and was like, I put love in all the wrong people. And I forgive myself for that. Period. Thank you. Forgive myself for that. Like, maybe they needed that love, but I needed some other sort of love. And I thought that was the love that I needed. I thought if I gave my love, that they was going to give me the love that I needed. But thank you. And I forgive myself for that. Like, big heart. I forgive myself for that. To thinking that like, oh, if I just do this, they might do this, or thinking that I don't have to respect my boundaries right now, or not even respecting my boundaries right now, not even thinking as far as respecting my boundaries right now. I'm sorry, and I forgive myself. Period. And then we move on. And then she goes, is there anything worth sharing with the people involved? Would it bring you peace to approach them and let them know how you feel? Or would it bring more stress? That's a decision you can make for yourself. But first, just know that it's a great sign of growth that you're actually angry enough to stop living by an invisible set of rules set forth by people who do not have to walk in your shoes. 6, you're processing feelings you forgot about. Displaced emotions are feelings that either don't have a discernible root or seem like an overreaction given the situation. Often, these feelings are actually related to something entirely different and have been triggered by your current circumstances. In the same way that your body sheds skin cells and excess waste each day, this is yet another way that your body releases memories and emotional responses from your tissues and your cells. This will probably be more pronounced if you have a history of suppressing the way you feel. Either way, give yourself some grace and some credit. You are doing a really good job sorting through some really heavy stuff. Is it me or this is starting to feel like therapy? This is starting to feel real therapeutic. Woo! I love it. 7, you're aware of what's wrong, even if you don't know what would be right. That reminds me of last week, like living in the questions, not the answers. Being in the questions, not the answers. Like, I love that. I know that it seems like your life should unfold from a place of revelation, that one day you'll wake up and have clarity about exactly what you want and when and where. That's almost never how it works. Before you know what's right, you'll know what's wrong. This is the scariest part because without the answers, it seems like the questions are never ending. It seems like you're stuck. It seems like there's no way out. There is. You just haven't thought of it yet. This makes sense because you've also never come to terms fully with what's not working in your life. When you have the courage to do one, you often find the other. Yeah, okay, the battery just died. But we finished off on when you have the courage to do one, you often find the other. 8, you're experiencing serendipitous alignment. Lately, serendipity has been my favorite word. Like, I just love the way it comes off the mouth. Serendipity. I don't know why I like it. Even if you feel completely stuck where you are right now, you're still starting to connect the dots. Perhaps an opportunity has risen that you didn't think would. Maybe you will happen to meet the right person at the right time. Maybe you see or hear something that you can't help but attribute to being a sign. Maybe something comes together mysteriously well, even despite all of your doubts that it wouldn't. It doesn't all have to be finished now. The fact that a few pieces are coming together is enough. What's meant for you will come to you, and it will stay with you for as long as it needs to. In this process, you're starting to learn that part of building a life you really want isn't just controlling the inputs and the outcomes, but also surrendering to possibilities so good you might have not thought to even ask for them. There's often a plan greater than yours, but it's not until we surrender that we truly understand the redirection. 9, you're more concerned with being happy than being successful. I want to know what she mean. Y'all know me. I love to question her. I want to know what she mean. Because happiness is successful. I want to know what she mean. Whereas you were once mostly interested in earning more or becoming more or securing a better sounding title, you find now that you're trying to build your days around feeling better and enjoying as much as you can. Okay. If she's tying success with more money, with becoming secure in a title or like a job title or achievements or accolades, I can get that. Okay. You know, I'm real emotional and spiritual. So I'm like, what she mean by that? Success is waking up every day. Success is being present. Success is stepping into who you want to be. This is a tremendous sign of progress, though it might look on the surface as though you're doing less and being less ambitious. You're becoming ambitious in all the right ways that truly matter. Your heart, soul, and spirit. All right. Now we flowing in alignment. Now we serendipitous. Like, okay, what if your goal was to enjoy each day as much as you could? To find one gem of gratitude, to spend uninterrupted time with your loved ones, to enjoy the fresh air, to get a good night's sleep. What would it take for you to truly feel alive every day? That's the question you start asking yourself when you are genuinely making progress. 10, this is the last one. You're beginning to understand that there is no finish line. If you're like most people, you've probably lived the majority of your life waiting for the next thing so that you can finally be happy and free. Growing up means you realize there is no finish line. There is no point at which you just coast. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Instead of arriving as fast as possible, you're now interested in what would be most sustainable and meaningful long term. You're never going to feel like you've made it. And guess what? You don't want to. You don't want the bar to end there. You don't want to peak so soon. Oh my God. Because I'm a big believer that there is no optimum time. There is no peak season. There is no, I'm the best at this season, at this age. We are always at peak season. We level up on the peak. The peak get higher and higher at any moment. The peak is what we make it. So that's how I just feel. Like, no funny, that's how I feel. I feel like peak. I don't think there's such a thing when it comes to me. I don't think it's such a thing. Don't do that. Because I feel like when I hear peak, I hear limit. That's funny because the sky exists. Like, that's funny. If that's limitless, I'm limitless. What up then? Like, that's just how I feel. What up then? Then she goes on to say, there is no point after all which all of your worries will dissolve and your life will become magically effortless and you'll be happy forevermore. There is only the ever-present now and how we show up for it and how we respond to it. That's all we can manage. That's all we can aspire to. Y'all, that's where we leave off, because that was powerful. That was powerful. And the next chapter is how to remember you're not alone, even when it really feels like you are. So come back next week to that one, but yo, how beautiful is this? How beautiful was this? How beautiful was this? Yo, I'm so grateful. Again, we are reading This Is How You Heal by Brianna, wiest. I'm so grateful for y'all. Muy agradecida. I actually have a flight to catch right now, so I'm even more grateful for that. Big prayers on this flight because the planes have been going crazy lately. literally. But I'm so excited to see my family and my friends, and it's gonna be so good. But y'all, I wanted to record this for y'all because this is my passion project, and I also feel like it's gonna help all of us connect, reconnect with ourselves, meet ourselves halfway, all the good things. I absolutely love Full Cup. So cheers, 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 y'all. Big grateful, not the little one. Check out my website and please, please, please comment. Talk to me. Talk to me in the comments because you know I like to talk back. Talk back. Talk back. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. So please share, like, comment, tell your friend to tell a friend. And I'm so grateful for y'all. Muy agradecida. Cheers, y'all. Cheers, us pouring into mind, body, soul. You heard?